section 6 in chapter 7. We want to solve by factoring. So here's the example. So we don't want to divide both sides by sine, because if we divide both sides by sine, we're assuming that sine of theta cannot equal 0, and so we don't want to assume that. So by factoring, we need to get both trig functions by themselves, right? We could try to substitute here so that we have one trig function, but if we just subtract sine on both sides. Now these can't subtract, just like you can't take say 2x equals 2. You can't subtract 2 on both sides, right? And then subtract this and get 0, right? It would just be 2x minus 2. Okay, so same thing here. I can't literally cancel out those signs. I get sine of theta times tangent of theta equals, or not equals, sorry, I already moved that. Minus, because I subtracted, let's switch, minus sine of theta equals 0. Okay, now I can see that I have a sine in both of these terms. Right now I have two terms. I can factor out that sine, and I get left with tan of theta minus 1, right? Because sine of theta minus divided by sine of theta is 1. So I can factor out, that's fine. Now I can say, okay, I'm multiplying right here. I'm multiplying one thing by another thing, and the answer is 0. So that means by the zero product property that sine of theta equals 0, or tan of theta minus 1 equals 0. And so now I can solve these equations. We have sine of theta equals 0. So we're looking around the unit circle figuring out, okay, sine of what angle gives us a 0, and this one would be tan of theta gives a 1. So sine of 0, what angle gives us sine of 0? Well, that is at 0 degrees, and it is at 180 degrees, right? Because we're right here, this the y value of 0 here and y value of 0 here. So that's theta equals that, and then for this one, theta would equal, where does it give us a 1? Well, that's where our y and our x are the same value, so that's at 45 degrees here. And then if we go 180, tangent's also positive down here, right? Because we want a positive one. So that'd be 45, and if I add a 180 to that, that would be 225. So there we have all our answers: 0, 180, 45, and 225. Remember, with these problems, we can go ahead and plug those back in, and we'll see that those will be true. Okay, so here's our problem, page number 31, or sorry, page number 696 and number 31. So here's number 31. Go ahead and try yourself and then come back. So as we can see, we have two terms, right, separated by that subtraction sign. So we can go ahead and factor out the tangent squared, because that's in both of them. So we factor out that tangent squared of theta. We get left with the 2 sine theta minus 1 equals 0. Now we can use our zero product property because we're multiplying here. So that means tan squared of theta equals 0. So here we have two things as well, right? That's tangent of theta times tangent of theta. They both equal 0, so we can, they're going to be the same thing here. So we're looking for where's tangent of theta 0. And here's our second one. We have sine of theta minus 1 equals 0. So that means sine of theta equals 1/2. So what angle gives us a 1/2 for sine? Well, I think we did this in maybe the last video is 30 degrees. Now let's see where our answers want. So 0 to 360 is our answer, so a half is 30 degrees. Right? So right here is a half, and right here is a half, so that's 30 degrees. Use that reference angle, so 30 degrees is our theta, but also over here in the second quadrant, sine is positive 1/2 at 150. So those are our two answers here. And where's tangent 0? Well, tangent 0 wherever y is 0, right? So that would be at 0 degrees and 180 degrees. So there is our 4 answers for number 31. And so that's it for this video. And that's how you kind of factor.